And oops. Okay. Oh,
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Today is March 4th, 2024, and I call the Land Use Committee meeting of Community Board 17.
April 4th.
Sorry. I'm looking at the thing, wrong thing, sorry. Apologies, April 4th. I got the wrong thing in front of me. It's fine. All right. April 4th, and I call the Land Use Committee meeting of Community Board 17 to order. Moving on to the agenda. I'm gonna just go into the report. Obviously, there's no new business, as we've been notified before we came here. We are still waiting to schedule meetings for the Shirley Chisholm Museum to discuss the economic opportunities for our local contractors and the workforce development thing. They've been sidestepping us a little bit, but we're really just trying to coordinate a date to have that conversation. I'm really sure it's really for them to get prepared and get their ducks in a row, honestly. But that's forthcoming. We also are in the works of scheduling for the City of Yes Economic Opportunity. Ms. Frazier and and Chair James and myself are trying to coordinate a date. It's going to be in office. I guess it's just a preliminary meeting to speak on it. I do have some news that was released on the 28th that further tells us what actually that plan, or at least a portion of it, is going to consist of, which I'll get into later in the report. So just stand by for that. Lastly, we I did at the last meeting ask our councilwoman Mealy in person about our longstanding tries of trying to get in communication with her. Sorry, didn't realize the camera wasn't on. Our longstanding tries of trying to get into communications with her over the last 2 years. Subsequently, we invited her again to tonight's meeting, and I believe we didn't get a response. Is that correct, Ms. Frazier? We didn't get a commitment?
yes. And I include all invites, and I did not respond. I called the office twice. Response.
Fair enough. And I want to get into the news that I read on the 28th. Just want to make sure I pull it in front of me. It regards the City of Yes Housing Opportunity, right? And the key point is that it's going to include higher density residential zoning districts, which I think we knew, but they dive into the details a little bit better. On March 28th, the Adams administration announced the City of Yes Housing Opportunity zoning proposal would introduce new higher density housing. So the interest was always of how they were going to accomplish this. To accomplish this, the plan will introduce brand new residential districts that have a mandate of affordable housing. And there goes that word again, right? We know what that means when you hear that. They're going to do so by introducing two new zonings or zoning restrictions. Is going to be R11 and R12. Each subsequently is going to increase the FAR to 15 and 18 respectively. The state cap currently is 12, so that's kind of big when you're talking about the magnitude of how big a building could actually get built when you're multiplying the FAR by a multiple of 3, or a plus multiple of 3 and a plus multiple of 6. That's very interesting. Something that we have to pay attention to. How they're breaking out the term affordable is mandatory inclusionary housing, requiring 20 to 30% of the homes built to be affordable and be in the average range of 40 to 80% of the median income. And they plan on voting for this at the end of this calendar year. Hearing those numbers, seeing those numbers, I thought that was something that we need to get out there. Especially that we're going to have some upcoming meetings discussing it further. Having that information ahead of time that will be essential. I wanted to make sure I got that out there. That concludes my report. Do you have any questions? I can't see the hands.
I do. Good evening, Mr. Frey. This is Miss Alexander Bakardine. I just quick question. So when you say engaging on that particular topic, what sort of outreach or engagement are you looking to have to get the word out?
Oh, what I'm trying to do is bring the information out to our group first. Ultimately, they'll have the proposal. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the proposal is already in place. And they're going out at this time, just reaching out to various community boards to show, I guess, a peek in to what it actually looks like. Fortunately, we have this information. I think just having the information and understanding what that means. I know that this group knows what having an extreme fall like this means. And I guess it gets us to have our questions together, like, what's going to be the mandates? How are you going to scatter and choose these areas? Are there limitations? Is there restrictions to specific community boards? These are the type of questions that come to my mind when I hear it. So I just wanted to have that information out there as far as outreach. As a plan develops, as we usually do, we'll review it to the best of our knowledge, get our stuff in order, and we vote as a block and give our recommendation to the community board. So we're just trying to make sure that we were as prepared as possible. Does that
Thank
understand?
you.
Problem. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Anybody else? I want to go home today. Huh? I don't think we have enough to do the meeting minutes. Good. I do have a question that's out there. With the recent rain, did anyone see any or hear about any flooding issues? You hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you fine.
Sorry.
we can hear you.
No flooding issues, huh? That seemed like to be an extreme amount of rain.
No flooding, but I had leaks.
Well, so good. Yeah. Yes, okay. Concludes the chairperson's report. Choose the officials, and I guess we could,
Somebody's hand is raised. Aaron Roth.
Mr. Roth. Yeah, I'm sorry, this new WebEx thing.
How are you? Just following up what I mentioned last time, that I wanted to start a discussion about
Green
if
spaces?
there's a way of cutting out a bit more park space.
Mhm.
So I did type something up, not too professional, but I was wondering if I could just put it in the chat box, and if anyone wants to see it, and feel free to hopefully this could start some type of a discussion.
Yeah, no problem, Mr. Roth.
Amazing. Okay, I'll do that.
Share it. Something that we could read, someone could read aloud, or is it like a? Can't even see the chat box.
Yeah, sure, I'll read it. I'll put it up in a second.
This thing is weird. File swells, Kings Highway, don't look like they'll do anything. Excellent.
Came up for you?
Yeah, we can see it.
Amazing. It's just I won't be trying to see myself how I could open up properly. Yeah, so you see, I'm just going basically down. I just scribbled on a map just 4 points here when you start from Remsen in East New York going to Kings Highway. And I'm sure you guys are very familiar with this. In a nutshell, Empire Boulevard already has a space that something could be stuck over there, some type of playground. Rutland, there's 2 islands that could be combined, I believe, with minimal impact to traffic. And Clarkson also, the island could be expanded a little bit. Kings Highway would need to look we would need to look into it a little bit more, but I think that there's
Sorry, my
room to,
apologies. You're focused on a letter, but you're referring to a map.
No, so the second page, I just took a screenshot of the 4 of Remsen Avenue and just circled 4 intersections.
Oh, yeah, we can't see that. If that's what you were speaking of.
Sorry.
All right.
So, meaning I just take it, read it, and I think it's more like just we could reconvene next time, and
Okay.
I'm sure there's other areas of the district that have points, or you could say how you think this would be more practical. Just one pointer to add about Kings Highway. I'm sure you've all noticed with the traffic patterns that it's anyways useless that there's traffic lights there. Like, you anyways can't turn on anything. So if there would be some type of advanced multi-level situation there, I think in addition to safety, it would also give us a little bit of park space. That's all I have to say for now.
Just make sure you forward that to us so we can share it amongst ourselves. If you could include any pictures, that'd be great.
You
You
could
know?
send it to me. I'll share it with everyone.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send it to the community board so you could forward it however you need. And yeah, if I get to the next couple days, I could see if I could access a little bit better pictures if that
Yeah,
makes a difference.
I'll wait until you get all the package together and you could
Okay, great.
mention. Thank
Good. Thank you, Mr. Roth, for following up and getting something started that we could review and look at. Appreciate that. Rain gardens, Rockaway look like swimming pools, not enough plants. They aren't being maintained by the contractor. I can send pictures CP17. Effectively move, I guess that brings us into unfinished business. Is there any other unfinished business? Mr. Roth, could you stop sharing the letter or does everybody need to still review it? Appreciate it. See the screen. Unfinished business? It's a light day. I think people are having a problem getting in. It's a lot of people outside. Okay. No unfinished business. Any new business? Some people left.
Mr. would like to proceed with the East 8th Street issue. I don't know. What next step?
In regards in the invitation,
Yeah. And
I mean, there's,
maybe Mhm.
you have any suggestions? I mean, all I can say is
I'll
that we could send more invitations.
detailed letter outlining the meetings and the I'm sorry. Someone is probably getting the one second.
Yeah. Ms. Frazier was speaking on trying to get some attention to the 98th Street development. With Councilmember Mealy's office, trying to get some attention for a longstanding item that hasn't had any eyes on it. Any more new business? Are you back, Ms. Frazier?
Can I just say something? The way she responded at the last meeting, she doesn't seem to really be interested in connecting with us in any way. So, I mean, what is it that we're supposed to do at this point with her?
I'm open for suggestions. I don't disagree with you. I mean, anyone who was at the last meeting, unfortunately, I don't believe that particular segment was recorded, so some people may not know. But,
Yeah, I mean, she obviously was very resistant to even talking about it, and then she kept saying that we should go to her whatever the meeting that she has. So maybe we should just all show up at one of those meetings.
Saturday, or was it the Sunday meetings, right?
Yeah, I don't remember which
Sat-
meeting
sat-
it was.
Their meetings. That was
What?
Mr. Member to get in difficulties.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said.
Yeah, Saturdays. Her meetings are held on Saturday.
Saturday meeting.
I have to get the date and time. And
Because I mean, if we really want her to face her with it and really get her to talk about it, then I guess that's what we're gonna have to do.
Disagree. Disagree. Speaking about it, forthright didn't get us very far. And being patient with her office and the staff for the last 2 years, so maybe attending her meeting, maybe we should take her advice. You know?
Well, at least if we take, then we'll be confronting her with it there at the meeting, which is what she said to do. She said, come to the meeting. So
Right.
I can't see what else we could do with her except attend the meeting at this point.
Ms. Frazier, you're gonna work on trying to get the meeting times? Mhm. She says it's once a month. It's once a
Yeah.
month, so
Okay, I'll take.
appreciate that. That. It's a sh- that was a shame. Any other new business? And I feel like I see bioswells, I see new business. Ms. Hudson, you acknowledge?
Good night. I'm here. But no new business from my end.
I gotta do a roll call. Remember when we don't have business to speak about. All right, just give me a second. I thought I saw Allison, see Marguerite, Dr. Renault, didn't see her, saw Bree, saw Mr. Dawes. This new WebEx, man. Can't really tell. A lot of people came in and out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, I don't really know who's here and who's not. Yes.
Robinson, Miss Johnson, Miss Backerday, Miss Vigliante, Miss
Miss Eileen usually calls in. I saw her number, but now I don't see it. It's like,
Mr. Roth, Miss Smart, Miss Hunt. There's a KS on the line. Who's KS?
Good
I didn't
evening. Hello. I'm KS. How are you? Those are my
I'm-
initials. I tried to get in through the WebEx the other way. I was on audio, and then I was able to get this far. It wasn't pleasant. But my name is Kim. I'm so sorry I wasn't able to introduce myself in the beginning.
no, it's not a problem. It's, we're having a glitchy week.
all week. I upgraded the app, so
Can I? Right. So there's some issue. But I do have something I would like to say. It's a little bit offbeat, and I'm just sitting here and I'm just so happy. We have another person on the line, I believe, LaShawn. Is she able to speak?
Hi, good day, good evening.
Hi. So I went to school with a LaShawn Freeman. My name is Kim. Last name is Shelley. I'm just wondering, is it the same LaShawn?
Well, I'm originally from the Bronx. Are you from the Bronx?
Oh no, I'm surely not. Born and bred in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I mean, I
So you have
represent
another
Brooklyn now too.
a namesake out here, but I just wanted to
Yes,
say hello if in case, but if not,
okay.
I'd like to thank the committee for having me this evening.
No problem. All right, looking into next month. Thank you. Before we adjourn, we know what's on the agenda for myself. Just trying to get these meetings and get these details in order. Been in constant communication with our chair daily. We're getting some feedback from the mayor's office on certain tangible items, but basically it's just to try to prepare the team to be vigilant when we approach by or when we have, sorry, be vigilant when we have the meeting with the, those stakeholders, which is Lend Lease and DDC.
mhm.
Being as prepared and not being on tilt is what's gonna have to keep us patient, and I think that's gonna get us prepared. I feel like having enough evidence and, just for transparency, my plan is to use their elevator pitch against them and their metrics that they designed, that they proposed in their executive summary that they delivered to DDC, which is a part of the 1,500-page document I mentioned last month of how the project would move forward, where it would be in 3-month intervals with percentages as far as MWB contractors, and if they're fulfilling their own metric. And that's where the conversation would start. Hopefully, that leads into transparency, which at this time they're not obligated to give us because of the direction DDC chose to take with the project. But if they start disclosing who their contractors are, it'll become very clear what the ultimate, you know, if it's status quo, if they're actually doing something. I don't know if you visited the project, if you looked inside of the thing, they've already dug open the ground and did that infrastructure work. They actually have a crane on site, and I believe that they're actually 3 stories high with the steel already. So if project is moving along and then, you know, they're taking the time to have this meeting, but they're not stopping their end dates or anything like that to have these conversations. So I just want to put that out there. If anybody has any input or knows any contractors that are interested in going into the project, let me know. We do have an avenue to send their information straight to McKissick and McKissick to try to get them acknowledged. At this time, contractors to be taken, but there's secondary tier work that may have less restrictions, smaller houses or smaller companies to be able to jump on those opportunities and not have the ultimate need for the high bonding requirements that are currently in place. All right? So somebody's on the phone. Miss Eileen, is that you on the phone?
Nah, it's Mr. Price. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's
I didn't know how to mute it.
such a, yeah, I'm having a difficult too,
So
trying to mute anyone, yeah. Oh, there you go. I got it, okay.
Maybe we need 30 days. Give us 30 days, we'll figure this thing out. It's been there. I don't understand the unverified thing. I'm not really getting it. But yeah, we wanted to put those things out there. I wanted you guys to know that that's where, not where all of the attention, but where some of the attention's going. We spoke on the city of Yes. I'm gonna share this article in the chat, and I'll have Ms. Frazier share the article as well, so you can have it for your own review, just to see what that looks like, what the new 2 zoning districts look like, the R11 and R12. And, you know, hopefully we could get back together in a month's time and have some deeper thoughts on how that can be impactful. I think it's fairly obvious, but if they're proposing zoning districts that exceed the current state cap with what we've been seeing now, I can only imagine of what that's gonna actually look like in years to come. All right? So it's a quick one. Anybody wanna make a motion to adjourn?
Joan Alexander Bakardine moves to adjourn the meeting at 8:05 PM.
I second the motion, Marguerite.
Motion's been moved and properly seconded. Whoop, somebody said something?
Oh, yeah, I want to know what happened with the meeting.
It was quick. But I want everybody to do their homework and the meeting is officially adjourned. Let me do that first. Have a good evening, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you so much. You too.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Nighty night.
Good
Ms.
night.
Frazier, I'm gonna forward you this article.
Yes. Okay, and I'll circulate. Thank you, good night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Good night. Is there a way that I can be added to the next meeting, where I can receive a link, or do I have to call it in as well?
Do you have the office number?
I do.
Okay, give me, Carol.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Very welcome.
Bye-bye.
Mr. Johnson, I'll reach out to Osney Lewis, the chair, and see what's on schedule for the Kings Highway repaving. What the tentative date, we gotta reach out to DOT to get that. Okay?
He was on the meeting, but I think we had a split meeting. Because first I was talking to you and then me and a few others, we got cut out of this meeting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. They couldn't hear me after a certain point. It was a little,
Yeah.
we need WebEx. I feel like, even though meeting's adjourned, so that's good. I feel like there was, Ms. Frazier, I'm starting to think that this update was the reason that our meeting happened, that
Yeah.
general board meeting.
Mhm, absolutely,
We're having the similar issues that happened, the sound cut off.
yeah. Mhm.
So, I will be in,
With us, because Darrell, myself, DaCosta, and a few others were there. We were waiting for you, but you never came back. And then I went out, and when I came back, and as you were leaving the meeting, and I said, all these people weren't on the other meeting. There's like 2 meetings that split us.
I'm not sure what happened with that.
Because I was talking to you, and then nothing. Darrell was trying. to get in, and he got in with me. So we're waiting, but like I said, I decided to, at 8 o'clock, I said, let me come back in. When I came back in, I'm coming back in, he says, adjourning. I said, wait a minute, then I look at all the people who are here, they were not on the original meeting. We
Yes.
started.
There's an ongoing issue that we're trying to decipher and get through.
What it did is it split us into 2 different meetings.
So with the glitches. Ms. Frazier, I think we definitely need to consider the digital recorder for the next meeting.
I already placed it in, and I am going to call WebEx to get guidance on how to resolve some of the issues we were experiencing. I'll do that along with with the secretary of the board. I'll do that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Oscar was with us also.
Yeah, she was in the original meeting and so was Hazel. I remember that.
But at the end, Osney came in to the original meeting. And then, like I said, I went out and came back into this one.
Yeah, I'm
So
not sure.
that thing is splitting us.
So good.
Not good. All right.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right. Oh,
Good
Oz,
night.
I'm gonna call you about the DOT. I had a question.
Okay.
All right.
All right.